Not quite there yet, plus I've got some minor repair. Not quite there yet, plus I've got some minor repair. Not
Good evening. This is the Western Washington Amateur Television Society Net on the '08 machine. I'm Dave, KD7ZYM. The Western Washington Amateur Television Society is a group of amateur radio enthusiasts that take to the airways with digital amateur television in the DVB-T format. We have a repeater located on Cougar Mountain. We transmit on 70 centimeters. It's a crossband repeater and spits out images at 1.2 gigahertz. To find out more about our group, Google WW7ATS. Please Google WW7ATS. That will take you to our homepage on the internet. There you will find the exact frequencies we transmit and receive on, and a little history about our organization. Also, you'll find a link to YouTube where we stream our nets held Saturdays and Wednesdays between 8 and 9 o'clock. Also, we'd like to thank the SeaTac Repeater Association for letting us use WW7STR's repeater 147.08 for our voice transmissions for our nets. Also note you will need a tone of 103.5 to communicate with this net. Again, you will need a tone of 103.5 to communicate with this net. Well, with that, I'll pause in case anybody has emergency traffic or needs to make a contact before the net gets fully underway. Again, this is Dave, KD7ZYM. Hearing none, again, thanks for joining the Western Washington Amateur Television Society Net. I'm Dave, KD7ZYM. Checked in by a video link already. It's Bob, K9PQ. Wade, W7ITL. Jim, N7QO. Myself, Dave, KD7ZYM. Is there anybody else who would like to check in? Hearing none, we'll start off the net. This is the Western Washington Amateur Television Society Net. I'm Dave, KD7ZYM. So let's go to Bob, K9PQ.
Okay, I'm not sure if I'm actually transmitting yet. Oh, it looks like I am. Good evening, everybody. Let me start streaming the OB.
Hastily assembled my station in the chaos of my condo as it exists right now. I'm still trying to get the last few things out of here. You can see a few boxes behind me there that I need, but I have many more things out in the living room. But the cleaners did come, and both the carpet was cleaned, and then they cleaned the entire place, and it looks fantastic. It looks as good as it did when I moved in. Yeah, it never did look that good when I was cleaning it. So nothing earth-shattering. I'm still not quite there to get it on the market. I have a few minor repairs to do, but I'm inching my way closer, and I will get it on the market soon. And at that time, I'll start seriously looking at buying a place. Right now, still my places that I'm considering are the Bellingham, Ferndale area, the Port Townsend area, and Eugene, Oregon. I haven't been looking at Port Townsend lately. I got to go back and take another look at that, but I've been monitoring Eugene and Bellingham and Ferndale pretty closely. And I have an idea in mind of what I'd like to get. There were 3 places in this little community. It's an HOA community, and they're individual homes, but very small houses. Condo-like, except that you have your own individual house. and it looked like just exactly the right thing for me. I had a 2-car garage, which was fantastic. And if any more of those open up, that's what I'll be looking for. But right now, the 3 that were available all sold. So, okay, I guess that's good for now. Send it back. Hope I didn't time out.
Thanks for that, Bob. This is Dave, KD7ZYM. And the net would like to acknowledge KD7QKU has checked in, and along with Lee, N7KC in Port Angeles. Also, I'd like to pause for about a minute and a half just in case anybody wishes to check in to the net via the internet gateway to come to the Western Washington Amateur Television Society net. This is Dave, KD7ZYM.
Oops.
Again, welcome to the Western Washington Amateur Television Society net. I'm Dave, KD7ZYM. Well, let's go to Wade, W7ITL in Tacoma. Again, welcome to the Western Washington Amateur Television Society net.
Wow, what a beautiful day today, and what a lot of things.
Well, let's go to Wade, W7ITL in Tacoma.
Sorry, weekend. I went to Cougar and I worked on the repeater. And you may or may not notice later in the net is
again, welcome to the Western Washington Amateur Television Society.
Wow, what a beautiful day today, and what a lot of things.
Let's go to Wade, W7ITL in Tacoma.
Sorry, weekend. Oddfellows here. I went to it's Cougar, just about a mile from the house. The repeater beers and you may or may not notice later in the net is
again, welcome to the Western Washington Amateur Television Society.
Wow, what a beautiful day today, still experimenting. What a lot of things.
Let's go to Wade, W7ITL in Tacoma.
Sorry, weekend. It's working here, but I went to Cougar, just about a mile from the house. The repeater ears and you may or may not notice later.
Again, welcome to the Western Washington Amateur Television Society.
Wow, what a beautiful day today, still experimenting.
Forgot to put on my audio. This is W7ITL. So yeah, all the audio that I was transmitting earlier was only on digital. So next round I'll get you on the next round on the weight machine. W7ITL. Back to net.
W7ITL, thanks for that. Let's go to N7QO in Covington. Where's Richard?
Hey Dave, this is K9PQ. Can you send an email? You won't be on the net tonight.
Okay, thanks with that. This is Dave, KD7ZYM. Well, I see Richard has checked in. K7ITX. Richard, the mic is yours.
effort for me to be on 2-meter radio. I mean, the real 2-meter radio. I've been for a year on Echolink for. I had no idea. I'm surprised it works. And it must, because you guys are acting like you can hear me. But I'll tell you, there's some very simple things about 2-meter radio, and then there's some very complicated things. But one of the most simplest things for 2-meter radio is for your wife to unplug everything, take it to a different room, plug it back in, and here it works. What do you know? I mean, she's a genius. So anyway, we're back here in Kent, Washington. Feels really great. Oh gosh, it's been an adventure to make my way back from Phoenix. Living in Phoenix for a year, everything that I've been through, I wouldn't trade it for anything. It's just, it's a wonderful life. That's all I can tell you. K7ITX, back to net control.
K7ITX. Damn. The OAYM. For a minute, the net via
KD6ILO is accessing data stream 1935 to WW7 ES DVB-T repeater network. Uplink nominal.
Hi Dave, and hello to the net. Great to see everybody on, and happy to join you this evening. I really don't have anything to add, but just to join to the net. Back to you.
KD6ILO is accessing data stream 1935 to WW7AT.
And welcome back to the Western Washington Amateur Television Society Net. And the net acknowledges KD6ILO has signed into the net. So let's go to Mario, KD6ILO, Mario.
Okay, hi Dave. Anyhow, is my audio? Let me know again how it is.
Audio's a little bit rough, but we can still understand what you're saying. Thank you, Mario.
Okay, I'll have to check my audio because the weight said I still have some feedback.
Again, this is the Western Washington Amateur Television Society Net. I'm Dave, KD7ZYM. We'll get back to Mario on the next round. But in the meantime, let's go to Northeast Bellevue to James, WU7N.
Good evening, Dave. This is James, WU7N in Northeast Bellevue. So it sounds like the audio is working tonight on my end. Had to turn off my, I'm hearing myself with about a 5-second delay. So anyway, well, Richard, it's good to see you back in Kent. And I would say that if somebody who's not a ham radio operator moved all your equipment, that is a successful move if it all works. That is amazing. Let's see, I also say hello to Mario. I heard you on the streaming site. Anyone listening, you can go look up Western Washington Amateur Television Society and then go to streaming, but you just have to remember on the low latency display to make sure you click the little speaker so that you get the audio. If you don't do that, it's by default muted. Let's see, a little note to KJ7ALP, inviting him back. We heard him try a couple of times, and I also sent a note out to the gentleman down in Houston. I haven't heard anything from him. Has anyone else heard anything from him? Always interested in visitors to come drop by to say hello. Nothing too spectacular going on here. I enjoyed the sunshine today. When the sunshine broke out, took a walk. That's the most exciting thing you do. I guess you have a pretty dull and boring life. So let me go ahead and turn it back to Dave, our net control for the Western Washington Amateur Television Society.
WU7N, thanks for that. This is Dave, KD7ZYM in Lake City. Well, another beautiful day here in Lake City. Anyway, sunshine came out. I'd like to say hello to Richard. Welcome back to cool Seattle after experiencing all that nice warm sunshine down in Arizona. And I got to get an ID in here again. This is the Western Washington Amateur Television Society Net on the 08 machine. Well, when I got up today, I noticed after I fixed breakfast that I had a few tomatoes that were getting a little bit on the overripe side. So I decided, well, what can I do with those tomatoes? So I decided to make some spaghetti sauce from scratch. Little tomatoes, a little onions, and some water and spices, and yes, garlic, and a little too much garlic. I'm almost saying tonight, if the angel of death comes and visits me, all I have to do is say, "Who is there?" and the angel of death will go away. So anyway, I overdosed on garlic today. So that's about it. So this is Dave, KD7ZYM, and oh, by the way, I've got 50 degrees and it's mostly cloudy outside. So with that, we're going to move up to the top to Ron, find out what's been going on in Tacoma. KD7QKU. Ron, what say you?
Okay, KD7QKU here. Well, Dave, I thought you forgot me, but I guess not. You saved me for the second round. Yeah, Bob was talking about having his apartment cleaned. When Joanne had her pacemaker put in, and it was kind of laid up, I had some ladies come over and clean. Oh my goodness, did they clean? They cleaned the shades, they cleaned light fixtures, they cleaned everything, and they did it real quick. It was, they cleaned under everything. It was like best cleaning the house it had since we moved in. No offense to Joanne, but you know, I mean, they went under everything and in everything. It was pretty remarkable. So that was kind of nice. Well, the lady next door is trying to move to Oregon, and so she just comes home on the weekends. She has a daughter and some brothers down there. The daughter, I don't know how old she is. I would say she's in her 40s, maybe 50. She had a stroke. She has some children and stuff, and so she's been helping out with them, and so she's going to put her house up for sale. So I went down and with her to get a U-Haul truck, a small one, and brought it back, and she's been taking stuff to storage, so she's been busy. She had a couple of guys coming to help, but she wanted to get the truck there before they got here, so I went with her to get it. Today I went to the club meeting, Tacoma Club, Amateur Radio Club meeting, and that's always kind of fun. The guy had a Mirage, I think it was Mirage, pretty sure it was a 2-meter amplifier. It was 200 watts, but geez, he wanted $200 for it. I didn't want it that bad. I might have given him $50 for it, but I didn't want to offend him, so I didn't offer him anything. But I really wouldn't need it. I have a ICOM V8 that puts out 50 watts, and that's what I use sometimes. I have a radio set up in the kitchen, and I listen to the net up north, and every now and then I join them, and when I do, I use that radio, and it's on a little Yagi, and it's pointed north. It works just fine. So they say. So I didn't need the amplifier. It was nice here this afternoon. The sun came out, went for a walk around the block. It's really nice to see Richard, have him home again, and it's pretty amazing. Well, I guess it's not amazing. I suppose Debbie just hooked everything up like it was, and you know, the radio didn't lose its memory, or she didn't twist any knobs apparently, so everything stayed the same. That was good. All right, I guess that's it. Turn it back to net, KD7QKU.
KD7QKU, thanks with that. And again, this is the Western Washington Amateur Television Society net for an ID. Again, I'm going to pause for a minute and a half in case anybody is wishing to check in through the gateway, internet gateway, to contact the Western Washington Amateur Television Society. This is Dave, KD7ZYM. Welcome back. This is Dave, KD7ZYM, and this is the Western Washington Amateur Television Society net. Well, let's contact Lee, N7KC in Port Angeles. What say you, Lee?
Okay, nothing has. There we go. There we go. All right. Well, I'll put that on there, and then I'll move over to the Logitech camera here. There we go. Well, I'm assuming that is everyone hearing me? Thumbs up. Am I being heard? Anybody hear me? Thumbs up. Oh, Dave says okay. All right. Well, it's N7KC, Lee, Port Angeles. I wanted to say, yeah, Richard, back in the Northwest. Well, a good show. Yeah, it's been a long time. You've had a long haul. And Ron, I assume that you're talking about having a gag. He pointed up to Lyman Hill to get into the Lyman Hill repeater. I think that's the net you talked to in the morning. Well, I get into Lyman Hill here with 4 watts full quieting, and we're some 80 some miles away from it. And I know you are too, but we would have full quieting communications very likely if we tried Lyman sometime. Wade, if he's there, when you came on, Wade, it was very interesting. Dave had come on after one of his breaks, and that recording of Dave, it had to be a recording because it played over at least 4 times right over you. And so, of course, it made it quite impossible for me to understand what was going on. And my echo problem here, I came on early tonight, about 7:30, and did some testing. And it turns out that the problem is someplace in the OBS software. I cut down to one mic. I'm only using the mic auxiliary here. I'm plugged into the side. I have a boom mic on good headphones. And so with one source not streaming, nothing else in the room on, I still get a wild echo. So what I did was I decided the smart thing is just take the headphones off, and the boom mic, which is on the headphones, sticks right up in the right spot here. And it's a noise canceling mic and so forth. But anyway, it seems to work pretty well. So anyway, I'm getting the hang of it here, Wade. Thank you very much. I looked and looked to see if I was having something on the mixer. On other computers I've had, I have a nice mixer panel, but on this Windows 11 machine, it's a home edition. I don't have any mixer panel anymore where I can mix in multiple sources, so I couldn't shut anything off like that. Anyway, so this works just fine, and when I'm done, I'll just put the headphones back on, and then I hear everybody else just fine. So with that, Dave, I'll send it back to you. This is, oh, and I had a hard time hearing Mario because I'm hearing an echo on Mario. It made it very, very difficult. So anyway, but hi to Mario nonetheless. Lee here in 7KC. Back to you, Dave.
N7KC, thanks with that. And again, this is the Western Washington Amateur Television Society net on the 08 machine. So let's go to Bob, K9PQ in Bothell.
I didn't remember to do that last time. Let's see. There was one comment on, oh, first of all, Richard, welcome back. Welcome back. I have been off the air for a little while. I'm getting my place ready to sell, and I've just, things are not where they're supposed to be, and I'm barely connected tonight. So I didn't realize that this was your first transmission from being back up here, but it sounds like it is, and welcome. We're so happy to have you back here, and glad you're doing well. I think there was somebody I wanted to respond to, but I can't remember now. So I'll just say it's just great to see and hear everybody out there. This OBS is working well, and I'm looking forward to having this going even better. I'll be able to set things. I kind of did this last minute, but I'll be able to set things up better between now and when I move. So what I had to do was get it out of my second bedroom and into the spare room off the living room. For those of you that have been here, you know about that room. I'm using that for my office, and I'm actually going to put a bed in that second bedroom so they can see it as a second bedroom. I guess that's good for now. I still have a few seconds left, but I'm not going to push it. Back to Ned.
K9PQ, thanks with that. Well, let's pick up Wade, W7ITL in Tacoma land.
All right, well, I'm trying to get my radio tuned back to the right frequency so I can talk to you guys. Lee, your audio was really good. It looks like my camera decided to have its decision to move away from me. There we go. So still trying to get my audio back. I don't know why it's not working, but I'm trying. You should hear me over digital, but there we go. There we go. I can hear myself. There we go. All right. So yeah, very good day, and I saw Ron at the Radio Club in Tacoma. They were having a swap meet today, and there was a couple things that people were selling. There was a, I guess it's called a double bazooka. It was a 20-meter dipole antenna that's made out of RG59. I almost pulled the trigger to buy it, but when I opened up my wallet, I only had $17. I had purchased some candy bars from one of the other members just a few minutes before I saw this bazooka 20-meter dipole, and a little bummed because that was a pretty good deal. $20 for the antenna. From what I read online, they're pretty good at eliminating noise, radio and RF noise sources. So maybe the next time I go up there, when they have the next kind of swap meet, I'll go ahead and, hopefully it's not been sold there, but I'll go ahead and buy it. Besides that, I've been really focused today on trying to get this repeater built. It's given me a little bit of trouble trying to figure out how to interface the All-Star node with the repeater. I built the breakout cable that's supposed to interface the All-Star. It's called an RTCM module, which basically converts the analog audio source into a digital SIP-like packet, and it sends it back to the All-Star node, which is a Pi, and then it goes back over All-Star. I spoke with one of the repeater folks. His name's Doug Kingston. I think he's the owner, or he's the one of the controlling people of PSRG, and he gave me some tips. So I did implement those adjustments, but still no luck. So after that, probably will be working on that. I'm hoping by maybe next week we'll be able to say it was fixed, and I'm able to take the repeater back up to Cougar, and then maybe in a couple of weeks, if crossing fingers here, we'll be able to have All-Star as one of our methods of audio to get into the system for the nets. Comments on Lee's audio, very good. Mario, your picture is perfect. There's definitely an audio loop somewhere in your mixer setup, so make sure you're not sending your desktop audio with your microphone audio. I think you use a vMix. It's probably something similar like OBS. With OBS, you can tell it what audio sources you want to send over the stream. So make sure you only have one audio source, otherwise it'll pick up your stream audio that you're listening and viewing the net with. I think I'm probably over time here, and probably got the alligator, but that's it for this round. This is W7ITL. Back to net.
W7ITL, thanks for that. Let's go to Richard, K7ITX. What say you, Richard? No contact on Richard. K7ITX. Let's move on down the list. Let's go to WU7N. James.
WU7N in Northeast Bellevue. I went ahead and picked the microphone up for you, Lee, and transmitted what was coming over the OBS digital onto the 2-meter analog FM. Otherwise, we could not hear you, so I did that. I started to do that with Wade, but then he threw a switch and we could hear him without me. So that's what I did last time. If I'm supposed to do something different, or you don't want me to do that, please let me know. Ron, moving, and Tacoma, helping a neighbor move and going to the Tacoma club meeting. Oh, that sounds like you had a pretty busy day. And wow, that is a frustrating way to be $2 short to buy something that's a good deal. That's the story of my life. I guess I did do something this morning that's that I do my public service with. The city of Bellevue had a 5th Saturday drill, and so that was kind of interesting because I don't think we have as intensively exercised all the equipment in that area, in that space, for quite some time. And it was amazing the number of things we couldn't get to work. And it's not that some of it is due to the fact that the room was redesigned to be more efficient and laid out. But for example, we had procedures and cheat sheets, things like that, that were laying next to radios that had just disappeared. Maybe they just got cleaned up and thrown out or something. So I think the big lesson learned there is if you don't use it on a regular basis, don't expect it to work when you first plug it in, making Richard's experience even more amazing. Yeah, that's I guess the big takeaway from the net meeting this morning. A satellite phone down there, and I chased it. I couldn't get it to work. I mean, it's an Iridium commercial satellite phone. I couldn't get that thing to work, and I finally, it was plugged into its charger, and I've chased the charger over hill and over dale under the desk, and finally it's not plugged in. Yeah, rule 1, it doesn't work if it's not plugged in. So I plugged it in, and on Tuesday I'll check to see if the battery is dead or if the battery can be brought back to life after being on the charger for a few days. But that's the kind of thing that makes technology so interesting. And the other thing, I found out that it had been swapped with one that was on an apparatus that is a fire truck. You know, that it was a swap out. And gosh, I couldn't have told you that because the antenna was partially broken on the back. They didn't know how to take the antenna off to put the external antenna on. And you know how firemen are. If the water doesn't come, just twist the valve harder. It'll work. Anyway, that was kind of interesting to see that damage. I said at the very least we got to get a new antenna for it because it was weird. I could get signal, but I couldn't make a phone call. So that tells me that there's probably an administrative problem with the account. So that's something someone else will have to do at the city, above my incredibly high pay grade as a volunteer. So anyway, I did do that this morning. That was interesting. It's always interesting to work with a group of people like that. Some of them are just super bright, very innovative, just like many people in this group. So thank you all. This is James, WU7N in Northeast Bellevue. Let's turn it back to Dave, our net control.
WU7N, thanks for that. This is Dave, KD7ZYM. My apology with some sound this evening. I'm finding out that having 3 different sources of audio and deciding which one's up and which one's down, sometimes I miss one and I see where Wade comes from when he has multiple channels of audio going at the same time. So anyway, I'm trying to stay on top of it and mute the right ones and get on the air. So that's about it. So now I'm going to go back to see if we can pick up Mario again. KD6ILO. Mario, what say you?
Yeah, okay, I guess it's not my day-to-day for audio, but thank you, Dave. And yes, Wade, I have multiple systems on the line, so I have to check also my input. But I hope this time it is okay. I've been very busy with the laser motor tester, so I can integrate more into the 12 zones that we have. We have 12 RF2 laser gateways all over San Diego for different users. So I hope we get it all straight. So far it's working fine, and I'm getting good reports. Back to you.
Thank you, Mario. This is Dave, KD7ZYM, and this is the Western Washington Amateur Television Society Net on the 08 machine. This time around, Mario's audio was fine coming over the digital television net. Anyway, that was sounding good. I did have some RF problems coming in on 2 meters, but managed to mute that receiver, and that let me listen in on the channel coming in on the digital TV much better. And this is Dave, KD7ZYM, up and changing some audio settings there again. So with that, I'm going to say let's go back up to Ron, KD7QKU.
Okay, well Dave, I think you sent it to me. I'm on anyway, KD7QKU here. Yeah, Mario, you have a beautiful picture, and I listened to you on the TV sound, and you came through real good. And I was listening to Lee on the TV sound, and he came through really good, better than the 2-meter radio for sure, both of you. So anyway, Wade, darn, I wish I'd have known you needed a little bit of money. I'm sure I had more than $20 on my billfold. I'd have been happy to let you have it so you could have got that antenna. Who knows, it may not show up again. That probably was a good, I remember price. I saw it sitting on the table, but I wasn't interested in it. So anyway, like I say, the only thing I might have been interested was that Mirage amplifier, but apparently it was 200 watt amp. But I need it like I need a hole in the head, so I didn't do that. And yeah, Lee, you sound really good over TV. Bob, I guess I was listening to him on 2 meters. We could probably hear him on TV also, but TV is better than the 2 meters actually. So let's see, I don't have a whole lot more to say. I don't know if you guys had the thunder and lightning storm and the hail or anything. I can't remember if we talked about this or not, but we didn't have anything here. I did move stuff in the garage so I could put the pickup in just in case we had big hail. I didn't want to get it all dented up, so that was for nothing because we didn't have any hail. We didn't even have much rain. And not much wind. I saw, lightning flash in the eastern sky, way over by Puyallup or someplace. Who knows? Maybe it was up at Chinook Pass. I don't know, but I could barely hear the thunder, so it was far, far away. So let's see. The lawn's getting green here, and I've been letting the cat out. Our cat, when we lived in Bellevue, had her own cat door, and she could go in and out. But over here, I was sort of kept her in. She hasn't been real well. She has some intestinal problems. We give her medication for it, and so she likes to eat grass, and when she eats grass, she throws up. So I let her out the last couple of days, and down there she didn't throw up this morning, grass and everything. So I don't know whether to let her out anymore or not. She loves to go out and prowl around the yard, and we've kept her in for so long. And I know sometimes she lays on her perch in the living room window, and she just wants to be out there so bad you can just tell it. And then she goes to the door and wants out and everything. So anyway, so I guess that's it for now. I'm just sort of babbling on. Turn it back to Net at KD7QKU.
QKU, thanks with that. Well, let's move on to PA, to Lee, N7KC in Port Angeles.
Okay, I don't know when the audio is hot. There we go. All right, this is N7KC Lee in Port Angeles. I was finally figured out how to get my end head proportioned here in the window on OBS. When I initially set it up, everything was fine, and I had it locked. And the next thing comes along, I couldn't do it. But I want to make a point here. If you want to show any video source that you set up, it cannot be parked on the taskbar. You can't do it. I could do that in Zoom. I can have them all on the taskbar and pick them off when I want to transmit them. But in OBS, it's got to be a hot window on the screen. So that complicates the things a little bit. If you want to have a bunch of them, have OBS on top plus see the stream, the digital stream. So I pretty much got that worked out now. I can do it. So now I'm going to move over to my Logitech camera. So I switch to the camera, and it takes a number of seconds for it to come up. There we go. Now it's on the digital stream. Mario, your audio was good that time. Did I not mention that? I may not have. Anyway, you did whatever you did, cleaned that up just very nicely. So thank you for that. We're up toward the end of the hour here. I am not using Echolink, as you can tell. I'm strictly digital all the way here, and the quality is good. But I'm not coming in where I can be, I guess, repeated over the '08 machine. So there's simply a limit to how many things I guess I can do. I only have this nice microphone with a boom mic, and I can't use it on the OBS and on Echolink at the same time. It'd be very clumsy to change headphones. I could buy another one. Anyway, with that, nice net. Thank you. I got some things figured out here. Just OBS all by itself on. If you talk into it with headphones on, you're going to hear yourself. So anyway, send it back to you, Dave. Oh, I'm getting a text from, you can hear this. I get my texts come in as CW. So I didn't pay attention to who it was. It's probably Wade. All right, back to you, Dave. This is N7KC, Lee in Port Angeles. Thanks for a nice net.
WU7N.
Welcome back. This is the Western Washington Amateur Television Society Net. Well, let's go to Bothell, to Bob, K9PQ. The mic and video is yours, Bob.
So let's see. Oh, starting my 2-minute timer. Yeah, it's just, I guess I'll give a little update. I did mention, I think, that the place was cleaned and it looks beautiful, and they They did the carpets. They did. I got about half of my stuff, probably more than half of my stuff, already moved out in preparation for staging. The stuff that's left over has to go down into the garage, and there's quite a pile of it, so that's going to happen in the next day or two. And just a couple of minor repairs. I've got a window that failed, the seal, but on the double pane failed, so it's got moisture in there. And a couple of other minor things, holes in the wall that I actually made for my antennas to go through to go out onto the deck. So rather than fix it myself, I'm going to hire somebody to do that, because there are a few little things like that, and the paint touch up on top of it. I'd just rather have a professional do that. So yeah, that's kind of what's going on here. Oh, and the carpet cleaning, it wasn't as good as I'd hoped. So we're going to have a carpet allowance, they call it, which is a really good idea that I would never have thought of, that my realtor, my agent, has told me about, so that somebody, if they're going to change the carpet, they want to put in their own carpet. So there's no point in putting a new carpet in myself. So I'll just give them something off the price, the selling price, an allowance to buy a new carpet. Okay, getting close to the end. 73, everybody. I'm glad to be back on the air with you. K9PQ.
And let's dial up Richard, K7ITX. Richard, what say you?
Say one thing, I'm having a hard time keeping warm. If that should come to a surprise to everybody, my daughter stays at the house, and she's got the temperature down a balmy 68 degrees, which is way too cold for me. So we're in the thermostat battle right now, and right now 70 degrees is appears to be the winner at this point in time. So anyway, gosh, if it feels like my mic is clicking, it is, because I just realized my thumb is moving. Like, I've got these involuntary muscle movements that are kind of strange, and I was just noticing one just a minute ago. Golly, I don't know what to say. I had my brother-in-law and sister-in-law, Debbie's brother, here for the afternoon. We had a really nice time visiting. We both expressed our grief to the passing of Duff Moriarty, the owner of the race cars that we work with. 67 years old is too young to go, and he went way too fast. So, and Michael, my brother-in-law, and him had just become really good friends, and of course he was a soulmate of mine. But anyway, it's nice to be able to hash that out and get that behind us. So we did that. Oh God, I don't know, what do you do what do you talk about with your brother-in-law? You know what I mean? It's pretty strange. You talk about family stuff, I guess. Their mother, my mother-in-law, just got moved into Eliseo down by Ron's place. And every time I ask someone, well, do you think you'll ever live there? And everyone I talk to says yes. Ron says yes, I say yes. It's a pretty nice setup. So, but I'm way too young to think about that. At least I think I'm too young for it. I don't know if age has anything to do with a lot of this stuff. you want to know the truth. I think it's rather than age, I think it's your physical well-being and your physical health. That's what dictates all this longevity stuff. So, I think a bright spirit is the most important thing there is. And boy, Ron sure has it helping all the neighbors all the time. You're helping a neighbor every weekend, and it's a different one every time. Good on you, Ron. That is really sharp. So, anyway, thanks guys like you. You're one in a million, let me put it that way. So with that, I'll say 73, K7ITX, back to net control.
Thanks with that 7-3. This is Dave, KD7ZYM. Well, let's see if we can pick up Mario for a final. KD6ILO, Mario.
Yes, Dave, and thanks to wait for announcing the audio and the rest of the net members. I won't keep you unless audience Wednesday. I'll check in and I'll give you guys an update of what I'm working on here in San Diego. So just take care, Dave, and wait around everybody else in Seattle. Take care.
KD6ILO, KD6ILO. Thank you very much for joining our net. This is KD7ZYM. And I guess we do have a few seconds. Let's go to James, WU7N.
I guess I get the last word tonight. So I did rebroadcast on the 2-meter channel, analog channel. What Mario said, I don't know if that came through. I do the same for Lee tonight. I guess it would be a pun to say I'm looking forward to feedback to see if that's a good thing to do or not. Because otherwise, people listening on 2 meters on Echolink can't hear what they're saying. So anyway, let me. For the Western Washington Amateur Television Society, 8 p.m. on Wednesdays and Saturdays Pacific Time, with a PL tone for this net only of 103.5. Dave, take it away.
WU7N, thanks for that. This is Dave, KD7ZYM. And this is the Western Washington Amateur Television Society net on the 08 machine. We'd like to thank the SeaTac Repeater Association for allowing us to use WW7 STR's repeater 147.08 with a tone of 103.5 for our voice transmissions. So with that, this is Ending the Net. I'm Dave, KD7ZYM at 9 o'clock. Good evening all.
Data and video transmissions via free space laser optical communications. I am an affiliate member of the ITG Innovative Technology Group of San Diego.